Hi, good evening, good morning, good afternoon from wherever you are watching. This is Eliud Mapesa. My channel name is E_Mapesa. I am in Kitengela, in a place that was starting to become an estate on its own, but along the way, people's houses were really demolished down, and it was a very expansive area. From the old railway here to the modern standard gauge railway over there. This land is in between those two railways, and people had really developed this place. As you can see, the rubbles of the houses all over, and really it had become an estate just like the one across our old railway line. And therefore, this place is a land that was for the cement factory, and it has had so many challenges and people trying to encroach on it so many different times. But now, all those who had invested here, their money sank and disappeared just like that. So, it is always very good for one to try to find out how and when to purchase a piece of land. Otherwise, in the long run, you may put in your money and the money disappears and there is nobody you will go to refund that money from. Therefore, this place was a very expansive place that had attracted so many developers and people disguised as owners of this land by building up very decent houses in the disguise that they are selling this land and they are really uh, the owners of this land. But for the real reason, they were only interested in fleecing people's money into their pockets. It is almost a year ago, and now all the activities that had begun here went down. There were schools, there were churches, there were entertainment joints, all sorts of amenities were here. And if it had continued at this pace, by this time this place would be filled by so many houses and so many activities would be taking place here. This area that I am is in Machakos County because that railway line there is the boundary. That is Kajiado, the other side where there are so many houses, and this is Machakos County. And you can imagine something funny. A plot across that railway line there costs around 4 million and above. But now, people who are buying plots here were being sold the plots at around 200,000, 180,000 Kenya shillings. And that is something that people would have thought about. But it is always good to do your homework very well before you inject money in such like properties like land. Okay, I may not blame them because they were lured into it, and anybody can easily be lured into this property acquisition. if you see that the deal is so good. And at the end of the day, when the deal is so good, then there are some repercussions thereafter. But I'm very sorry, and I feel it for those people who lost their money here. May they find solace and other monies so that they can now do the rightful kind of investment in such like properties. And I want to really ask and thank you, all my subscribers, wherever you are. Kindly feel comfortable to comment, feel comfortable to subscribe to this YouTube channel, like the video, and also hit the notification bell so that you are the first person to receive our videos when we upload them. If you are coming across this YouTube channel for the first time, kindly subscribe, share, comment, and hit the notification bell. Also like the videos in case of that, because I'm actually headed to 200 subscribers. It has been a journey, and it is still quite a journey, and I'll accept the journey as it is. But you, as my subscribers, if you hold me the hand, I will actually move closer to 500 subscribers, closer to 1,000 subscribers. But for now, kindly push me to 500 subscribers. I really appreciate. I really thank you, because bringing you such like videos, as you can see at the far end, where I told you there is a standard gauge railway. That is a train, locomotive train that carries goods. It is coming from Nairobi, our capital city of Kenya, East Africa. It is now headed to Mombasa, our second capital city in Kenya. So the goods, or if they are not goods, these are empty, how do we call them? Bogies, empty locomotives headed to Mombasa, and they'll be coming back with a lot of goods taken to various parts of the country. So that is that train. It is snarling towards Mombasa, and it has really made the work easier, because most of the goods are very heavy, and using the standard gauge railway is easier than using the roads. The roads may be very much destroyed because of the weight. And now we use that one and this other railway line for transportation of cargo and transportation of people. So I'm in between those two railway lines. One is the standard gauge railway, which is a modern railway line, and this is the old railway line in this place that has been there since 1901 to date. All these railway lines actually go up to the border of Kenya and Uganda, so that goods are taken to Uganda and then to South Sudan, to Burundi and Rwanda and even Congo. So these railway lines are very important for our East African countries to be fed with all the goods that are needed in their countries. And they all pass through our country because their countries are kind of landlocked. So they have to pass here through Uganda, then to various destinations of those East African countries. Saying that, yesterday it was terrible and it rained so much. The rains we had, and I personally had anticipated that it will not get to much before it rains. And indeed, after washing our water tanks, the following day, after 2 days, the rains came and really were intense. And we expect that maybe it will continue raining or it may stop at one point, then come later. But at least this region is now cool because it was very hot in the by last week. So when the rains fall, there will be a lot of green grass in this place. As you can see all over, there are some goats all over and also some cattle, but mostly we have the goats. The cattle have been taken elsewhere where there is grass because it had become very dry. And the Maasai people in Kenya are nomads. They follow where there is grass, and therefore the cows cannot be easily found in this area. They have migrated to some places where there is a lot of pasture. And very soon, because it has rained, after 2 weeks or so, they will be back with their animals because there will be a lot of green grass in this area for their animals to feed on. So the Maasai people in Kenya and people in the northern part of Kenya are actually nomadic people who actually follow where there is grass and water for their animals. And so this place will be heavily infested with the animals after 2 weeks. If I come here after 2 weeks, there'll be so many cows and cattle. Because I've actually seen some grass starting to grow immediately. There is some sort of greeneries here and there because of the rain that fell yesterday. And therefore, as I am here, that whole region, as you can see, is Kitengela. And Kitengela, the town is almost 2 kilometers away from the old railway line. And these are places where people live. And it is good that we have a railway station right there. That's the railway station. And in the morning, people board the train from here, and in the evening, they also alight from here and various points as you go along the railway line. And therefore, transportation in this area is very good. You can either use the railway line or the train or go by road towards Kitengela town, 2 kilometers away from here. So it is actually a strategic point here in Kitengela. Most of the people here work in Nairobi, which is about 45 kilometers away from here, and they work to and fro. I was also a worker in Nairobi before I retired 2 years ago, and we used to commute from here to Nairobi and back. And people are used to that. You may not feel that it is very far apart from the jam, because being a city, you expect a lot of traffic jam of cars, lorries, and all that kind of vehicles. But all in all, people work and come back to sleep here in Kitengela. Kitengela is a very interesting area. It inhabits so many different kinds of people. Worldwide. There are people who are white here. There are people who are all different races are here. And therefore, it is a cosmopolitan area where Maasais are now very few here. All of them were pushed out by those people who bought land here early in the 90s and in the late 80s. So people that had money actually could buy even 100 acres, 50 acres, and subdivide them and sell to those people that were looking for a place to stay. And therefore, we are actually a mixed up community from all over the world, I can say. For those who are new on my YouTube channel, kindly subscribe, comment, share, and also hit the notification bell so that we are able to move to the next level in terms of subscriptions. And I'll be very, very delighted if you do that, because it is actually through this that we learn a lot from the YouTube channel. My YouTube channel name is E_Mapesa. Kindly subscribe, share, comment, and hit the notification bell. And for now, I want to end this video from here. It is kind of a wilderness where people don't live, as you can see. All over, people had started building, but they were building on an illegal land. So their houses were all demolished. And what we are remaining with here are just rebels or rubbles. As you can see, human activities here were very active. And then all of a sudden, one day, all the bulldozers were here, demolishing all the structures that had come up from this place. Therefore, see you in our next video, and I say bye bye. God bless you abundantly.